When it comes to a high-quality, enjoyable, freeze-dried meal, Happy Yak has set the bar to a new level. If you're interested in learning more about Happy Yak, stay tuned. Okay, before we begin, I thought I'd talk for a few minutes about freeze-dried meals in general. So as many of you know, I enjoy making meals at home, dehydrated meals from things that I can find and buy and know the quality of, dehydrate them, prepare them in meals, and take them out on the trail. The reason I got into that is because I was not impressed with either the quality or the cost of the freeze-dried meals that I could find on the shelves. I find that the meals I make at home can start off by being inexpensive, they're lightweight, compact, easy to prepare, and usually pretty good tasting. However, there is a downside to preparing your meals at home. First off, you have to buy the ingredients and you have to invest in a dehydrator, and it does take a little bit of time. So really, I'm not against freeze-dried meals, it's just that up until now, I haven't found any that I would feel worth buying. So what are some of the advantages and disadvantages of freeze-dried meal? Well, to begin, the freeze-drying process tends to keep or maintain the original quality, the texture, the appearance, the taste, the nutrition of the original foods, much better than dehydration does. In addition, freeze-dried meals are pretty readily available. Most of the outdoor sports stores will have a selection on hand. There's also a good selection that you can get online. So what are the disadvantages of freeze-dried meal? Well, in my opinion, cost. Most of them are quite expensive, especially where the quality isn't all that great. So I haven't tried all the brands that are available out there, but I have tried some of the larger name brands and found that I just didn't like the quality. I found them salty, they didn't have the appearance, and certainly not the texture of original food. Okay, so in the interest of full disclosure, Happy Yak sent the meals that I have to me for testing and review. I did not pay for these meals. I also want to point out, I'm not giving up on my homemade dehydrated meals. I still enjoy doing that. I wanted to bring these freeze-dried meals to you as an option for those of you who don't want to take the time or invest the money and the equipment needed to dehydrate and prepare your own meals at home. Happy Yak is committed to producing the highest quality meals available. It is their philosophy that at the end of a long day on the trail, that a good meal will restore not only your soul, your attitude, and your energy. That's very much the French-Canadian culture on cooking as well. So what I want to do today is prepare one meal of the selection that I received from Happy Yak so that you can see the quality of the ingredients in it and get an idea of how easy they are to prepare. So quickly, just a little bit about the Happy Yak line of products. They have a full selection of breakfasts, lunches, dinners, and desserts. And they have broken those lines down into regular meals, vegan meals, gluten-free meals, lactose-free meals as well. And as you'll see in a minute, the meals are all packaged in paper-covered Mylar bags, which are resealable, and most of the meals are preparable right in the bag. I also wanted to mention that the process of my obtaining these Happy Yak meals was I went to the website and ordered them up, and then I had a coupon given to me by the company that I could use to purchase the meals. So I had complete control over what meals I received and the process of ordering them. And I want to tell you, I was very pleased with the way the website was laid out, how easy and intuitive it was to move around, as well as all the information about the meals. Okay, that's enough talk. Let's get down and prepare the meal I brought along with me today. Okay, so as my Kelly kettle brings water to a boil, actually, I think it is 2 or 3 minutes, and I brought about 600 milliliters of water to a boil. But what I wanted to show you was the meal that I'm having today. And this one is the Mediterranean pork. And the instructions are on the package here, which I'll read out in a second, as well as the indication that this is lactose-free. So if it had been a vegan or gluten-free, all the indications would have been right here for your, so you can identify it quickly. So, all the nutrition is listed down the side here. So the method of cooking, you can either do this in a pot and within 2 minutes have the meal prepared, or you can put it in the package with 375 milliliters of hot water, so about 1.5 cups of hot water, and then set it aside for 12 to 15 minutes. So what I wanted to do today, for 2 reasons, is I'll be using my GSI Fair Share mug, and it has water indications on the inside to tell me how much water I have in here. So I did this for 2 reasons. One, to show you that you don't have to cook in the bag, that you can cook in another insulated container like I'm going to be doing today, but also so that I can show you what the meal looks like before I add the water to it. So my water, I think I better take my water off the boil here. See, it doesn't take much of a fire to use that Kelly kettle. Alright, so what have I got here? There. Ziploc. Oh, wow. Oh, now this is fascinating. I'll try to bring it up to the camera as quickly as you can. You can see dehydrated chicken. There's a lot of vegetables in there. Dehydrated black olives. Now, this is the meal that it is. It's a Mediterranean meal. All kinds of substances in there that look like I could pick them up and eat them right now. The chicken is amazing. It looks like a piece of chicken that I could eat just cooked, but it's as light as a feather, so it has to have its contents rehydrated. I can see peppers and all kinds of vegetables in there as indicated on the side of the label, so let's do that. Now, because I have already added the food to this, I'm going to have to guesstimate a little bit how much water it's going to take. Normally I would have added the water so I could measure it. So knowing that I had about 600 in the kettle to start with, I added in about half the kettle, so that would be about 300, maybe a little bit more than half the kettle. As I say, normally I would have put the water in the GSI cup, brought it up to the right line, then added the meal, but I wanted you to see the meal. Give it a stir. Put the lid on. Now this is an insulated mug, but the insulation's only going to go so far. So what I may do is just I have a neck piece here and another jacket that I may just wrap around this to give it the additional warmth. And when this is ready, in 12 to 15 minutes, I'll bring it back and show you what it looks like. Okay, so I let it go the full 15 minutes just to give it enough time to rehydrate fully. And let's have a look and see what we get. Oh, wow. Do you know, every time I open one of these meals up, I'm so pleasantly surprised, first off, by the appearance, but also by the smell. The assault on my senses from the smell is just unbelievable. Now, I guess I should have read the instructions a little bit more closely, or not the instructions so much as the content of the package. It's not chicken, it's pork. I don't know why I thought chicken, but especially when it says right in the title. Just wasn't paying as close attention. The foundation for this is couscous. So I'll see if I can bring you up a piece of the pork couscous, the black olives, green bell peppers, the herbs and stuff that are in there. This looks like something I could have been served in a restaurant, quite honestly. Let's see if it tastes like that. Mmm. Mmm. Okay, if I had left it a couple more minutes, the pork is fully rehydrated, but just a little bit, one piece, just a little bit. Oh yeah, there's still a little bit of fluid in here. Cooler temperature like this, I could have left it go. Oh, dates. That's a date. Yeah, it is. That's just like a nice, good date, yeah. And cooler temperatures, I probably could have let it go 20 minutes. It's still hot. As you can see, the steam's rising off of it. So it wouldn't have hurt it to let it go another couple minutes. Okay, I'm not going to sit here and make you watch me eat this whole meal. I'm not going to stop. I'll just turn the camera off in a second and keep going when I finish it off while it's still warm. And it is. You can see the steam is still rising from it. First thing I want to say about this is, unlike a lot of the other brand name meals that I've had, this is not salty. And I've heard that complaint from other people, so it's not just me. I don't think it's just my tastes. But a lot of them seem to be excessively salty. I always assumed that the salt was there for two reasons. As a preservative, and because theoretically, if you've been on the trail all day and perspiring, you needed to replenish your electrolytes, salt. There's other ways of doing that. It doesn't have to be overly salty food. This isn't. This is what a good meal should taste like. And I'm not just saying that because I received these for free for tasting. If I were to order this in a restaurant, I would probably leave a good tip and come back. There's a good-sized meal here, too. So one of the advantages, and I guess I could do it with the Fair Share mug, one of the advantages of that resealable bag is if you were too hungry, or not hungry enough, or there was too much food, you could reseal it, or I could, in this case, I could put the cap back on, save it for later. Either eat it cold, or put it back in another pot, touch of water, warm it up again. But to be truth, I'm usually out 4 or 5 hours before I eat. This is not too big a meal for me. This is just a good size. Is that a mushroom? Or another black pepper? Wow, this is wild. Okay, I said I wasn't going to make you watch me eat, and I won't. I'm going to finish my meal, then we'll wrap this video up. Okay, I felt the best way to close up a great meal like that is to have a nice, freshly ground coffee made with the AeroPress. And it is. It's good. Okay, some closing thoughts on the Happy Yak meal. So I've only had a few of the selection of Happy Yak meals that have been sent to me so far. I can tell you that I'm impressed with the qualities of all the ones I've had so far. Now, today's meal, I want to point out that the pork did not appear to be fully hydrated. I don't think that's a fault of the meal. I think it's a fault of how long I left it to rehydrate. If I left it another 5 minutes and it had been warmer, we're at -6 Celsius right now, and I did have it wrapped up, but it could have been a little warmer and I could have left it a little longer, and I think the pork would have been fully rehydrated. That's not to say it didn't taste good and that it wasn't edible. By all means, it was just some of the pieces were just a little chewy towards the center. My fault, I believe. The taste was definitely there. The quality of everything else in that meal was definitely there. I can't say enough about it, as I can about the others as well that I've had so far. So my plan is to take a different meal with me most of the times that I go out and try it and report back to you what I like and what I dislike about each of the meals. It'll take me some time to go through them, the breakfast, the lunch, the dinners, the desserts, which is kind of an interesting thing. I've never had a dehydrated dessert before, but that should be kind of a fun thing to try. So it'll take me some time, and I'll do that as I go out with each of the meals. Now, I'm not giving up on my regular meals, as I mentioned before. I'll still be making those, and I still plan on doing a few videos on making home dehydrated meals. I wanted to present to you this freeze-dried meal option for those of you who don't want to go through the effort of making meals at home, but are looking for a good meal that's easy to pack and has a high quality that you can have at the end of a long day on the trail and enjoy, and you will. You'll enjoy these. Okay, that's about all I have to say. I'm going to put the information for Happy Yak and where they can be purchased at their website, as well as Mountain Equipment Co-op, and I believe at the Atmosphere stores here in Canada. I'm not sure if they're available elsewhere across North America yet, but you can certainly order them from the Happy Yak website. I'll put all that information in the show notes below. And until next time, get out and explore and take that path less traveled. It'll make all the difference. Bye for now.